You were nervous, sentimental, spoiled. You drank too much, liked the soiled night too much, and all it implies. The thrill of ruin, the 4 a.m.s and jazz dives, not sleeping for days and waking in strange rooms with marginal redheads. You had boxes of silk shirts, Neiman Marcus ties, jet-set criminal pals. You left your Corvette in tow-away zones. You could lie in 3 languages, scratching an itch with a blowtorch. You had style. A contrived grace, cold and random as a vandal, quite the reptile you, under all that expensive bridge work. I loved the private planes, your imported high-tech watch. I brought white gloves, renewed my passport, planted rose bushes again. I just didn't have the strength to grow you up, grow you through your greed for inexhaustible Saturday nights. You saw too many movies. I couldn't cut through or cut it and found it empty, fraudulent, the beast to be not yet formed. Still, I miss your kisses, your relentless, indifferent precision, Tanqueray gin on your breath, and how much losing you hurt. They liked that one at the whiskey last week. This is called Living Posthumously. Some women live as if posthumously. They have been divorced, aborted, broke, and alone in alien cities, screaming into deserted, shabby night streets, drunk and uprooted. Later they find garrets, musicians, smugglers. They learn to lie with ease. They contrive a glamour, reeling wildly out of control, careening down the center divider, striving for the plate glass shell wrists first. They drift gossamer, married to the air. They work without a net, without a rope. They know what they are. They pick up men with tattoos and rap sheets, court the unexpected, the one with glazed eyes and a razor. They take handfuls of pills, drive the Pomona freeway at 95. They are bad winners, bad losers. They flaunt their triumphs, sentimentalize their defeats, the disasters they have collected. They demand both awe and pity. Such women flirt with exotic forms of suicide, the swallowed scorpion, the leap from a roof in Dior. It is danger they love. When the air itself stalls a permanent carnival in July, neon and, yeah, they're near the pier, drinking beers with sailors, exalted, red mouths open, wide enough to drink the sea. This is called confession. If he can live without you, he will. I have bound my feet and limped, biding my time, bereft, alone, deserted in a feasting season by pimps, married men and lunatics, and any woman waiting for a man is a whore. I know this, and the secret pulse of men who kill in winter. The hair is not enough for fields of fox, quail, bear. It is the more fragile hide they prize. They will skin you in the end, pack the sweaters mother knitted, their photographs and sheaves of poems. They oil their rifles. They go home. You smell suitcase leather for weeks. You breathe it in like ether. Wind blows through your rooms, eating the disarray, the empty tequila bottles, the evening gowns twisted on the stairs, ashtrays spilled onto mistletoe. For once, I will tell you the truth. The only killer left in this house is me. It's called jumping off. I could go to San Francisco, dye my hair red, let it blow like a mane of fire in that knifey North Bay wind. I could dance in satin sandals in saloons with a blue bay view. I could get a tattoo, a lush rose on my thigh, sea green and permanent as a stone, as a kiss on a rainy night you never forget. I could hawk my rings and keep going, catch a Greyhound to Seattle, find a barge to Nome. It happens. They find cars on back roads, unclaimed luggage in terminals. Some people never come home. I said some suckers jump off, find the sunset, and walk into it fast, armed with just the clothes on their back. It's a poem I wrote, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. I was on a fishing trip, and it's called So This Is Love. I was camped out in a sleeping bag. And I said to the sky, take me now, while I lay on the ground in this man's arms beside a fast rushing stream in July, unutterably flawless and opening, star-thudded, the blue, deep and unvoided. Take me Mars, take me Saturn, take me while I burn into him, through him, and his belly is a warm moon swollen with salmon, and he holds me, so compelled by stars he weeps, and I drink his tears. If I could speak, I would say this is passion, and there are absolutes, fine, sharp, unmistakable as art or daggers. Moments when the mouth is salted and permanently changed, when the air itself is a state of blue grace I would bleed past the bone for. After the yucca, Joshua and agave, haunting the bleached shells of hills in a stilted, mouthless breeze in an unrustling dusk, there are anchors, some final breakwater, and amazement and calm, and him laying belly down after breakfast in damp jeans and sunglasses 10 feet away on the far side of the campfire. I could cross this space, could sit at his side with my throat the stained glass of a Gothic cathedral with a blanched lizard on a near rock, and trembling whisper, so this is love. This is called Nile River Song, and this is from the book before the book I'm working on now, which is called Opium in August. If he leaves me in spring, I think I'll go to Dubai, lose myself in that air of jasmine and locusts, let the moths of history feed on me, on this obsolescence of flesh. I could say on some alley, cobblestone and whiter than a dried scalp with the night stinking of ginger and urine, it never meant anything. I wasn't his kind, not blonde enough, too much belly. I opened my skin like glass, loved you hysterical and clawed with the intensity of a wounded bird, with the wisdom of a thing that has died over and over and risen with the precision of a sun. I've never been consistent or promised to shed the edge. And yes, when he packs, I'll go to the Nile when it's yellow as a hill invaded by wildflowers, get blessed in the river at dusk when it's calmed with drowned men and typhus, and slide in, eyes first and begging for blindness. Opium in August. I prepare for my lover. I've been practicing 15 years. I wear black sweater, high heels, rings. I am sunburned darker than the women of this world. I am Greek, Jewish, gypsy, my 7 veils intact, tarot cards and gold-beaten stiletto ready. I know everything. The sheen on dwarf palms, the tiled fountain terrace spilling itself amber, slow, starlight on the hookah, and I am a Persian courtesan, bathed, perfumed, lying like an offering beside flowers, murals, mirrors, the final answer, what you were born for. Opium in August. How it begins, a desert storm, lightning into heat and no rain, sky torn. How it ends. And the white cotton sheets in between, the apricot nail polish and letters written by cream yellow lamplight in between. A picnic at a lake, a fishing trip, scotch in a cup, and riding later, after, fast through heather and foxglove, as if the horizon mattered. Thanks. This is called Some Women. Some women are born to sin. It's a calling like the cloth or politics, a certain sensibility, a kind of music. Church bells, brass lamps, wallpaper with a small floral print. They save postcards from European cathedrals, towel dry their hair, paint their toenails. There's never enough light. And the wind, a subtle, anxious presence about to break in, and the clerk's cousin on 3rd Street was raped last week. Such women have names like Sharon, Betty Jean, Laverne. They change them, give themselves extravagant spellings, invent relatives blatant with prosperity. They find themselves living with alcoholics who beat them. They wait for the police, the hospital to call. It's always midnight burglar alarms, almost winter. Clouds are white as lace, and lace, it seems, was once important. Such women believe in love. They move slow. They are vanishing like the buffalo. You see them across a room. Their eyes are bruised, saying, use me, get a stick, go in deep and sharp. I have nothing left to give but the truth. They wear too much cologne. Their voices are tropical, moist palms, metallic green insects, something hot, unpaid for, pagan. With them, it is always June in a slower, warmer century. A river sullen with summer flows past back porches embossed by fireflies, but something goes wrong. After all the women's magazines, the skirt patterns, the dusted parlors, the overstuffed chairs, and he doesn't come. One day, you are watering an azalea. You are 24. You turn your back, reach for a match, and you are 31, sitting in a bar, asking a strange man to dance, to press against you his pants, and you're saying, I get drunk and reckless, drive my car too fast, don't give me promises, just show up with cash. God, some women get strung out on flesh, need it like an addict. The architecture of bone, the danger at the center, how it burns, that tightrope walking between men. Such women know one day he will appear, the one with the tourniquet and laughter, some 6'2" West Texas cowboy. He's gonna send you roses, get your father's blessing, ride you into the sunset, and never come back. One day, you are 31. You squeeze the universe down to pocket size. Run where your blood runs. All the rest is lies. This is called True Story. They say I write black and love death and madness. Art is for the few. The rare as inventive criminals, mutes, or the survivors of surgery. I am speaking of blood matters, passion, risking everything, leaving a husband and children, this is a true story, to fly to Caracas with a part-time dance instructor named Ramon, and woke up broke in an unspeakable port, regretting nothing, saying I lived for his cha-cha, his rumba, the light glancing off his pointed and shine-black shoes. We boogied all night for months. From Buenos Aires to Lima, we crossed the Andes twice. I would die to get this poem to rush like a current, a drug. Always some will refuse, will keep their secret names and other dimensionness, their abundant, unyielding, infinite childhood, the vivid season of incessant, edgeless birth, the maw and yawn of the giant's mouth. What would you die for? This is called Flesh Sculpture. I wrote this 2 weeks ago. I wait for you silent as clay, open to the bone, stripped as a bride at dawn on her wedding day, beyond breathless and becalmed. Take my dreams of fish and rainforests, all that is lavish and green, the parrot eggs, the vines and moss inside my eyes. I give you my skin to paint, tattoo your name on my thigh. I am a washed slate, an infant learning again to suck and crawl. Take me half asleep on your shoulder, still and anchored as a boulder. Your girl child, your flesh sculpture, what chance left at your feet. Forget what I was, that blown leaf in perpetual autumn, la puta de la luna. Christen me with your tongue, your abandoned hands. Love me as if I was pulled from your loins, as if I had nestled months in your belly, your chest, and exploded your groin with my birth. Okay. This is my book. It's sold out. I don't know if you can get it in San Francisco. It's called Lullaby for Sinners. It's called Transformations in Green. There are entire continents beyond my folly, warm pirate zones of subtle sea femininities and banyan hills of mangoes and emeralds. Night has lilac teeth and whispers of white Madagascar jasmine. Here the secrets of hurricanes are given, their swirling circular lust to mate, to crease the sky with their own and spawn in what would be barren. The moon erupts pearl-tongued and forgiving. In a just-born ridge above painted coves and green, hypnotized cliffs, I bury fury, wild eyes, and the evil that glows. I will gather green judgment from ferns and flame shadows. Beyond certainties of death and obvious ruin, there is a further wilderness, awesome, named for a luminous warrior king. Here, in rum-sweet air, original green palm hill, I will with jade breath enter into delicate green covenants and know my life as a psalm. Thank you.